So I'm gonna go ahead and call this meeting to order. First order of business is the approval of November 13 minutes.
6:30.
Is there any discussion to be had regarding minutes? All right. Approved as submitted. And now I'd like, if someone could make a motion to,
I make a motion to appoint Ellen Morgan as our interim director, or interim chair for tonight.
a second.
Second?
Okay, any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Those abstaining?
So we need you to be the chair so that we can vote on a chair, a vice chair, and a secretary.
Yeah. It won't, yeah.
You'll be the chair for like 2 minutes.
Yeah, 2-minute chair. You wear all the hats now.
Oh, okay.
All yours.
Well, it's now time for the director's report, I believe.
No,
We
we
have
have to do this vote thing first.
To vote.
It's not on the
right.
minute.
Oh,
It's
right.
not on the agenda,
part,
but yeah,
we have to vote that first.
Then once we voted, then the elected chair can take back over.
Right, so
Okay.
yes, sorry, for example, do we have any nominations for chairman of the board?
Yes, I nominate Dawn Barlow to, no.
I think we have to, you just ask if we have.
Okay, would anyone like to be here?
I'd like to nominate Dawn Barlow as
Okay.
chair.
So Juliana,
Do we have a second?
Second.
all those in favor?
Are there any discussion?
Any discussion?
Anyone else who would like to
Yeah.
show any interest or would like to be our
Any
chairman?
vice chairs?
We'll do that next.
Oh, next, okay.
You to be the chair.
Okay. Okay.
So I think now ask for the vote.
Okay, no further discussion of, all those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Any abstainers?
No, I abstained. That would be just
Okay.
weird.
You can vote for yourself.
You
It's
can?
okay.
Okay, all right.
Juliana is the interim chair.
I'm not the interim. Okay, now we go on to our vice chair. Looking for any nominations for vice chair, and I'm gonna nominate John Beelan.
I second.
Is there any other interest or anyone else who wants to be our vice chair? Or any discussion? All those in favor of John acting as our vice chair?
Aye.
And now secretary. I'm gonna go ahead and nominate Laurel White as our secretary.
Wait a minute. I was just told.
So all of these positions, if
Oh,
someone
well.
decides to change in the next meeting, we can do that, but for the time being,
That's
we
fine, I
need
understand.
an official
Based on
secretary.
the intro that I received earlier.
No.
Do we
I'm
have a
visiting.
second for Laurel?
Second.
Thanks, Carrie.
Any discussion or questions or anyone else that would like to step into that role? Okay. All in favor of Laura White as our secretary for the time being?
Aye. All right.
Now you're the chair again.
Now, okay. So next on our agenda is our director's report.
Hi, is this Mary?
Yes.
Okay, Mary is one of our board members who was calling in on her phone, so she is now present. Thank you, Mary. You're here.
Okay.
Okay, it is time for the director's report. And just in time, yesterday we received statistics from the Connecticut State Library. And it shows that our library usage is continuing to increase. Some examples are that library visits have increased to 25,064, up from 25,289, even though the population for East Haddam has decreased below 9,000. It was going up for a while, and it is going down right at the moment. That may change next time a few houses are sold. Circulation of physical items has increased dramatically from 53,900 to 73,000, partially because renewals are now added to the statistics, but it's still also a big overall increase in any physical items circulated. Our in-person programs have increased from 290 to 458, mainly because Anastasia is running tons of children's programs at both branches, just trying out what works and what doesn't work as she continues in her role as the children's librarian for both branches. We really do need, it's hard to offer adult programs because a youth program can hold more than 10 or 15 adults, either building, and neither building is accessible. And I hate to offer to invite people in for a program and then they can't get in. I mean, that would be not very good. And then if we try to do them off-site at another location, that pulls staff out of the library to run a program somewhere else. And that means we need additional staff to keep the library running. So all in all, it's just... So what I'm doing is I'm coordinating with other agencies so that like some of the historic districts, they used, some of our programs were held there, and then we both got publicity out of that. And of course, the Land Trust, they've offered another program for us to facilitate with them in January about invasive plants, which sounds great. It would be at the Grange, and they would be there, so I would only be the only person that needed to go.
So I'm sorry, the library program for the Land Trust is happening where?
At the Grange.
Grange.
Yep.
Okay, hey, Merry Christmas. If I don't stop.
Okay, so
Just in case I'm confused.
all of that points to the fact that we really do need a new building. And Tom Sevigny has been assigned as the selectman liaison to the library. He met with me a couple of weeks ago and is also very supportive of beginning the work to choose a place and a design for a new library building. This will probably take at least 2 years of planning and design. Library staff and friends are both excited to begin gathering ideas for one new library that will be ADA compliant and combine us all under one roof where we can offer 21st century programs and resources. As the new library study committee voted on 3 or 4 years ago now, I believe. But we're going to make progress, I think, this year. I really do. The FY26 budget began on July 1st, 2025, and we've spent $190,000 of our $515,000 budget, or 36.9%, so we're well within our budget. For events, recent events, the holiday market that was held at both the Grange and the Old Town Hall on November 22nd from 10 to 3. There was almost nowhere to park when I arrived. All the places across the street, all around the church, all behind the Grange, all along the road, everything was full. So it was very well attended, and the craftspeople who participated were very grateful, and we had several new vendors this year. Many thanks to Janet Whitty for her work in planning and coordinating all of this, and to Pat Griswold for helping her set it up and staff it. The Kids Night on the Green was organized by Parks and Rec, also a big success. Hundreds of people attended. The library's own Dawn Barlow was there as Mrs. Claus and arrived on the fire truck with Santa on a very cold evening. And our new selectman, Todd Gelston, was there with his top hat on to be the MC. The library contributed funds to help support it and help decorate Mrs. Claus Station, brought our big rocking chair over to sit in, set up a tiny little library for people to see. And the library also had Shannon Martell staffing the cooking decorating station. And the Friends of the Buddhist Library contributed about 200 stuffed animals, which we handed out to children. Were they popular?
Oh, they were. They loved the way their little thing, your hands velcroed together. Yeah.
Did you use all of them?
I think there were some left over.
Yeah, there were a couple left over. Lisa's going to give them back to us.
Probably no giraffes, because those were a hot commodity.
Giraffes.
Monkeys might be.
That's the one. I mean, to Santa's elves.
Okay, so my projects currently, I finished the policy updates that were approved by the board and by the Connecticut State Library, and they are sent in the minutes showing that they were approved, and then the minutes of the minutes where they were approved so that they could verify they actually were approved.
And round and round. Are
And
we
they-
done, are we done now?
We are done, and now they are posted on the library site. I'm writing an article for Events Magazine and planning East Haven news stories, collecting ideas for the new library and studying grant requirements from the Connecticut State Library. We continue to hold regular monthly staff meetings, and we're having our holiday gathering next week on the 18th for our staff meeting, where we have refreshments and things, so it'll be fun. And then I'm also finishing up all the staff evaluations by the end of December, and I'm collecting data for the FY26 budget. Any questions or comments for?
Very good. It was an ambitious month, but I think everybody pulled it off. Thank you so much for, I mean, you've been working a lot. I know getting those policies approved alone.
Yes, that was a big job. But
Yeah. So,
it's important, though, and they'll be very useful.
yeah. Yeah, I mean, the librarians need to have good policies in place to, deal with whatever comes their way. Okay. Any questions for Evelyn? No? Well, I want to welcome Todd. Thank you for coming to our meeting.
You're welcome.
So
I've enjoyed the past couple of weeks or month, so.
Yeah. It might not be a super exciting meeting, but we'll keep it entertaining if we can.
What you're working for is very exciting.
Yeah, that is. That's true. That is very exciting. So now we get onto the nuts and bolts of our subcommittee reports. Finance subcommittee. That was Evelyn already mentioned that we're on budget. There was no surprises. Everything's going along per plan. Do we have any questions about that? We could all hope for warmish winter. And
So
then we
far,
might
we're
come
not
in.
getting it.
Yeah.
Maybe it's getting it out of the system.
Yeah.
I am a little worried about the heat at the Buddhist Library. I'm going to be putting in a request for. They have no furnace now. They only have the split air, and it's quite cold there.
I was there the other morning and it was very cold, especially upstairs, because that door to the front opens and closes and the air was.
If we had a space heater, do we have to get that approved by, I don't know, safety, from a safety perspective?
Probably not.
But you've got your.
Who are you gonna talk to about
She's
that?
like, no, he's like, yes.
Who are you gonna talk to about that?
Donna Ingersoll.
The thing is, you've got people working in the different rooms upstairs, and that a space heater isn't gonna do any good.
Right. So are you asking for multiple space heaters?
Is it just the, did you try cranking the thermostat up?
Joe did. And then
Because
they
I-
And
turned
he
it.
has fans, and
Yeah.
he has the fans.
Because I know that,
Last year, it wasn't as cold, so they
Yeah.
were, this has been a really,
I know that when they first went in, and Mike was the director, he said they had to set the thermostats to like 78 or something, because the temperature is hot
So
up
hot,
there
yeah.
and not down at floor level.
I'll have him crank it way up again. I'll tell him.
You know,
Just leave it. Don't worry. He worries a lot about the expense of it. But
Well, the problem is, I mean, all your heat rises
I
and
know.
you've got those big barrel ceilings upstairs
Yeah.
that are very
may-
tall. You have a lot of capacity of air to fill up.
When he
So,
turned the heat up the other day and then put the fans on, immediately the people that were at the computers felt a big
yeah,
difference.
so I mean, it may be just he's being too frugal with,
Yeah.
with where the thermostats are set.
I'll talk to him about that.
Yeah, because I mean,
We'll try
if
that
it's
first.
possible to get it warm enough. I mean, that's
Who's him? Who is him?
Joe.
Joe Riley,
The
the
branch
branch
manager.
manager at the Buddhist branch.
Okay.
And do you have a
Speak to
meeting?
Don Ingersoll as well.
I would talk to Dawn,
Hmm.
yeah, if necessary, but we'll try cranking up the thermostat first.
Yeah, I just remember Mike commenting about that when they first put them in.
I know last year they did add extra heating to the Rathven Library when we stopped
Mhm.
using our oil furnace, except for
Well, I mean,
emergency
you have a
backup.
problem down there because you got water pipes and outside
Yeah.
walls that aren't insulated, and that's not the case here.
Yeah.
Do you have a meeting with Don set up yet?
No.
That'll
I may
be-
not need to talk.
That'll
to
be a
him.
phone call anyway.
Yeah.
Any other questions about finance at the moment? We've got a preliminary letter regarding the budget process coming up, but, nothing, no dates or anything like that yet, so we'll keep you posted as that process goes along. All right, governance?
So we met earlier this week and discussed a number of items, the first being the vacancy that was left after the municipal election. We have received an application from Mr. Barney, who's right back there.
Visiting.
So it is on the agenda to have a vote and a discussion about this under new business later in the meeting. We talked about the 2026 calendar. I did submit everything to the town, but I understand there's been a couple of changes. I just wanted to clarify that because I'll have to resubmit. I understand from finance, you guys stayed the same. John, you are our committee chair and secretary. Governance stayed the same. I'm going to be taking both of those roles, but in public relations, I understand Mary is our chair and Laurel is our secretary. So I'll update that, and I'll update the board calendar at large with our new officers. And so I'll send that to the town this week. We've been talking about an orientation process. Everyone here is a seasoned board member, but people change as time goes on, and the idea that the subcommittee has, is to create a physical binder that's going to house not just the manual, but also things like ALA documents and Freedom of Information Act, all of these things that you might want that we can give to them. The other idea, other than holding the tours, which we've always done, is to assign a buddy to, at least temporarily, somebody to sit down with a new member and answer any of those questions. What are the subcommittees? See if there's any questions on the binder of information, just to make it a little bit more personable. So that's something that the board committee is working on. We've also been working on our annual manual review. We expect to present that to the board for a February vote. There are a few minor changes. We go through this every year, so. And the final piece that we talked about was the process for submitting the agendas and the minutes. There's been some confusion. To clarify, all minutes and agendas should be sent to the town clerk, but also copy Linda on all of them. And we agreed that the process is for the secretary of both the subcommittees or the board to not to circle around with all sorts of changes, but to send them directly to the town. We vote on them for changes later. There are certain circumstances where Evelyn might want them, like when we have to send them up to the state, to correct them first, but she'll let us know if that's the case, if we want people to look at it ahead of time. And if she doesn't say anything, send them right up to Kathy for posting, and we'll make the corrections later. And that's all the governance has.
All right, so it's just the one vacancy that needs filling?
Correct.
Right now, okay.
Correct. And Bill would satisfy minority representation, so.
All right, anyone have any questions, or Juliana?
Yeah, I think when we bring it up at the end, his vote, give him a chance to talk and make his case, and then we'll vote.
All right. Public Relations Committee report. Do we have a report, Mary?
Mary was unable to get the minutes earlier.
Okay.
So could you?
Yeah. So we met on December 3rd and were presented with the suggestion that I would be both the chair and the secretary. And Mary was more than happy to continue to be the chair. She in fact wanted to continue to be the chair. So we discussed that amongst the three of us, and Mary decided she would be the chair, I would take the secretary position. So that was part of the conversation that we had. We were informed at the meeting about Alice. Can you say
Alice, in order to, has not attended any meetings for quite a while, so however, it's up to her as to whether she chooses to resign or not, according to our
Okay.
bylaws.
Okay, let's see, we got a director's report from Evelyn, which we've just heard about through her report that she just gave us. She has met with both the first selectman, Todd Gelston, and the selectman, Tom Seveny. And Tom is going to be the liaison and is very excited to start working and putting new concepts together to discuss a new library proposal. We have ADA compliance issues that we're concerned about, so we'd like to start working towards a building committee and forming a marketing plan. And that would be coming from discussions with community members and stakeholders. And she also wanted, Evelyn also wanted to reinforce the value of our libraries and how important they are to the community. There have been many successful partnerships with community organizations. The Community Lions just recently held their annual holiday fundraising raffle at the Rathbun. They partnered with Park and Rec, Youth and Family Services, and the Fire Department for the family night that happened on Moose Green. And there's also a partnership with the Land Trust, so there's an active participation with many different community organizations with the library. We had a discussion about library program updates. The Rathbun has multiple opportunities available, mostly for younger people. There are a few adult book groups that meet, but as Evelyn mentioned, we have a problem with space, so we can't really hold a lot of adult programming, but there's a lot of kid programming happening at both locations. So we listed a few of those different activities. Let's see. We were reminded that the trustee members are encouraged to attend events sponsored by the library and the Friends Group. And in the past, library trustee members have badges, but there is at least one new member who does not have a badge, 2 new members that don't have badges. Wasn't sure if you had gotten one of the old ones. But the logo has changed, so new badges altogether. So there was a conversation that potentially new badges would need to be ordered so that we can identify ourselves as trustee members when we attend events. And Mary reiterated that the Friends groups need support, and I reminded Mary that Carrie had discussed this at a previous meeting, and as a result, there were several library trustee members that had signed up to assist at recent events. So when the trustees are informed that there's needing help, there's active participation there. Mary suggested that her experience at the library she was involved in Lyme had a sign up for community members outside of the trustees groups that could sign on as helpers, and then they would access events at either a reduced or a free rate for helping. So she was hopeful that that might be something that we could potentially take under consideration for the Friends to look into.
Well,
Actually, we
most of
don't
the ones we have, that our group does, there's no charge.
Yeah.
Most libraries have
Yeah.
charge.
Yeah,
Most
so
of them.
maybe it was more of the advanced programming that they were having, like cooking or something, but that was the suggestion, was to potentially find community members who might be willing to sign on as volunteers. Let's see, Mary also presented a goals checklist for the Public Relations Committee to review. And we discussed that and determined that there were certain points that were oversight that the trustees would confirm that the library director was taking care of, and other actions that would be more so responsibility of the trustees. And Mary and I are going to sit down together and try to determine which is which and put together a more clear list so that everybody can be aware of what that looks like. And that is that.
Thank you, Laurel.
Oh, you're welcome, Mary. And I don't know that it's the 3rd or 4th attempt came through to you, but hopefully something is going to work out that you're going to be able to get the minutes from me. Otherwise, John, our tech guru, has been nominated to try to help us figure out what's going on, why I can't get these minutes to you.
Thank you, John, for volunteering.
Well, my idea was that maybe if she added you as a contact in her address list, then she would be able to get emails from you. Have you tried that yet, Mary?
Yes, and I didn't even get your first emails tonight, so, yeah.
So that did not work? Putting
I think I got the second one. I think my computer might need to be given a rest.
Okay.
It's old.
All right.
Yeah. that
Can
can-
we always leave paper copies at one of the libraries for Mary to pick up?
We could. I had asked either Evelyn or Dawn to try and get them to her. Maybe there was better luck coming from a different
Yeah.
source. But then Evelyn came up with this
She
idea.
did get them finally.
Okay,
You
good.
do have them, right, Mary?
I'm sorry, could you repeat that?
You did get the minutes finally, correct?
Just the second time that you sent them
Yeah.
today.
Okay,
Yes, yes,
she did get them.
From
yes.
you. Okay.
All right, any questions? All right, I'm looking forward to, sounds like you have a lot of work kind of planned out for that committee, and looking forward to seeing how that goes forward.
Yeah.
All right, the Friends Liaison Report.
We did not meet this month because the meeting day was that pouring rain day, so we kind of didn't meet. But kind of going off of what you guys came up with, sometimes people want to be help just with an activity. They do not want to attend meetings. So that's something for, I think, both Friends groups to keep in mind, to make a list of people who are willing to help out with programs versus coming to the meetings. Because there's a couple of people that mentioned they would like that. But yeah, we didn't have our meeting, so it's basically all there is.
All right. And Mary is our Rathbun representative. Did the Rathbun Friends group meet?
Yes, I have a report. Okay, it said that they didn't have a lot to discuss this month, but they did review the holiday market event. Vendors were very happy with the event. A lot of people came through and things went very smoothly. And as Evelyn already said, you know, parking was an issue because it was a very popular event and well attended. They donated money to support the Christmas in the Village event on the 8th. It was very well attended and a fun night with Santa arriving by plane and the tree lighting by the gazebo with visits from Santa and especially Mrs. Claus at the gazebo. They're selling holiday book bundles at the library for $5 each. They were on sale and displayed with the Lions auction. They have a number of them still left, and they also sell them at the holiday market. So there are some left if anybody still needs to do some Christmas shopping. They are going to be selling puzzles again in January. They did this last year and said it was a very popular event. They have quite a few puzzles still on hand from donations that they received last year. They are going to purchase an additional supply cabinet for the library to house the children's program supplies. And they're also going to purchase new board books to fill the book bags for the 1,000 books before kindergarten program. So each child that registers will get a bag and will get a book to start their endeavor of reading the 1,000 books. They have not finalized a date yet for the Tanglewood marionettes. They're still looking at a date for sometime in February or March. They're going to be revising their policy for accepting donations. They will accept donations once a month. Now, when I was reading this, I thought that they were talking about the Friends, but actually what they're talking about is accepting books at the library. So they're going to accept donations once a month on the second Saturday of the month. Friends members will be on hand to look over the donations before accepting them. and to help limit the number of damaged and unfortunately moldy books that people might be donating. Their next meeting is scheduled for January the 6th, 2026. And that's the end of the report. Thank you.
Thanks, Mary. All right.
Oh, Mary, are the puzzles they're gonna sell brand new?
I don't know what they got in last year. Evelyn said they had quite a few of them. I have quite a few that need a home that I'm going to donate. So I'll call Janet and find that out tomorrow.
Well, I can get in touch with her.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right, does anyone else have any questions for Mary? Okay. Is there any way that we can move the audience of citizens up in case Todd has something to say before? Yesterday?
We can
I
motion
think
to
it would be a
it.
motion to do it, yeah.
Thank you very much.
All right, can someone make a motion to?
So moved.
Second.
Okay.
Any discussion? All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Okay.
Okay, I got a couple of questions in Evelyn's report. The third bullet down under library statistics. Our in-person programs have increased from 290 to 458. Is that participants?
Yes.
That's quite an increase.
Anastasia's our new children's librarian. She just started about a year ago. Well, maybe a little.
Little over a year. More or less a year.
Yeah. And so she was trying to have all different kinds of children's programs at both libraries. If you go to our calendar and look at what programs there are, you'll see something almost every day
Yeah.
at both libraries. So she's done a great job of testing different programs. She is going to cut back on the number of programs because it's just too much.
For her, or
Yeah. But
can you get other manpower? Can you get some women power to help?
that would help.
Because this is, for building a new library, this would be a huge factor,
Yeah,
increased usage.
absolutely.
And if you get the more people you can get involved, the better it is.
Correct.
And it's powerful.
Yeah, Anastasia is somebody that graduated from the town schools, and then she interned at the library before she went to school for her
Yeah,
degree.
she got her master's in library science.
Yeah, and then she came,
And then she came back to be the children's librarian.
and she was working part-time here in Essex,
Yeah.
and then she was offered the children's library position.
She knows the community well.
Yeah.
That's what I call organic growth. That's good.
So, that's another reason why we pushed for the intern program.
Right.
And that's the thing to do. Now, moving up, one bullet up, the circulation of physical items increased dramatically from 54,000 to 73,000.
That's mainly because, or partially because they now count renewals as part, so that would be a whole new, if somebody borrows a book and then that's one count, and then if they renew it, that's a second count, so that added to the numbers. But still, it's a good number.
It's a good number, and can we link it to people?
Yes.
So it's more, it's...
More visits.
More visits,
Right.
yes. Another important thing, yes, right. Whatever you can do there is fantastic. And you're well within budget, I like to hear that.
We haven't had the heating bill yet, so.
Oh, you haven't had the heating bill yet. Good. Okay, all right. That's really good. Budget next year is going to be a little tough. You probably got the letter already that we're working to the grand list growth. The grand list hasn't grown very much. We don't want any more June or July surprises of people getting upset with the increase in taxation and voting no, because the ultimate decision maker in the budget is the taxpayers. And So, and they've strongly encouraged us to hold it. So we'll do that as best we can, and I'm not saying zero, but it's not going to be like last year. And, okay, thank you. And the next thing, I was going to talk about something else, and it slipped my mind. I think that was it. Okay, yeah, writing articles, anything you can do to publicize your success is another good thing to do. It may be repetitious to you folks, but to folks on the street, it's not.
Right.
And I went to the Board of Education meeting last night, and I was pleasantly surprised because the kids are reading more. And we all know reading is really important to education, to exercising those brain muscles. And so hopefully the library can take advantage of that and also help it along. I don't know if you have any connection with the school, the high school? For
We
example,
do,
middle
yeah.
school? Middle
The summer
school?
reading program, Anastasia planned it. She knew some of the librarians there already, so
Okay.
they all worked together to create one summer reading program for all ages and all.
Well, these kids are now reading not just in the summer, they're reading here in
Right,
school,
year-round
in
reading,
schools.
yeah.
It's, which is really encouraging, because that wasn't happening before. So that's good, that's really good. And,
We have Laurel here who's spent a lot of time on the Board of Education, so we pick her brain to help us bridge that gap a little bit.
that's great. Well, that's all I have to say. Thank you for your work.
Thank you for coming.
You
You're
did not,
welcome.
you didn't miss the note, though, that adult programming is limited because of space, right? Adult
I did.
programming is limited because of space, but there's a lot of adults that want programs
And,
at the library.
So when you say space, is that space for books or space for
Space
No,
for
space for
people.
people.
to come and read?
No, to be in a space, to have a place, to do a thing, to have a meeting, to come to a program, to,
So you need meeting space.
we need anything space. I just want to make sure you don't miss that. Yeah,
What did she say?
workshops.
Workshops.
Well, these are all things that we will add when we get a new library, but meanwhile, we use the Grange at times. There's a meeting room at St. Stephen's. They let us meet there when we have a program that's too big for the library.
You did joint
So we're
things
working
at
on
the
issues, but there's no,
Historical
at the
Society.
library itself, it's not safe to try to get a lot of people in there.
Yes, they had several
At the Historical
incidents
Society.
with people
Whole
trying to
15.
maneuver the stairs with
No better
walkers.
than the library.
Oh, no.
And.
Every athletics to do that.
You should
And,
see, they go.
You know,
That's, oh, man.
that's scary.
Then we have a freight elevator that we used to use for people in wheelchairs, but it has a problem right now. It needs to be rewired or something, which would be very
Oh,
expensive.
God, yeah.
So we don't dare let people in it anymore because they might get stuck there for a long time.
So now the librarians go out to the sidewalk to meet the people who can't get in to the library.
Curbside service, so to
Yes.
speak.
With the extra staff we don't
Maybe I should leave now. No, let's get back to space. So you need space for workshops?
Well, no, for programming in general.
Programming,
yeah.
In general.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think quite a few of the programs we
And
take
the
on
trouble is, though, if
outside
we have
libraries.
space that's not in the library, then we have to take library staff. Often we only have 2 people
Yeah,
staffing the library.
That's right.
So we can't, if we have additional space outside the library, we have to have more staff.
And staff is the biggest expense
Yes, it is.
by a large margin.
Yes, it is. Unless you have lots of friends.
Volunteers?
Yeah, yeah. But the space you need, it's weeknight space or is it weekend space, or both?
Probably both.
Usually weekday.
Because I'm thinking you can use this building on weekends. There's plenty of rooms here that are not being used on weekends.
Yeah.
And I can see what I can do to free it up. You may have to cart in some books or materials, but you can meet here and have your workshop here.
Still leaves the library unstaffed.
Again, friends. The more people you get involved. And in my experience, You can advertise for help, for volunteers, but the best way to get volunteers is to ask them face to face. That's been true since the 1800s or 1700s. It goes
That's
all the
true,
way back.
no, I know that's true, yeah.
Yeah, but if we can do, I can see what I can do to, well, we, such, my helpers, can see what we can do to get you space here, have workshops, but, and then if you can find the people, because when people will respond to a need, if it's a clear need, you got a clear plan, usually people will respond. And I'm seeing people reading, exercise in the library, so somebody's got to be interested.
Well, if I can just ask a clarifying question, when you're saying get friends, get volunteers, if Evelyn is running a book group, she's the library director, who's doing the library director's job? A friend?
It could be, yeah.
Doing the library director's job?
Well, no, helping out. I'm not advocating taking over, being
No,
taken
but
over
I
by
guess
somebody
I
else.
just want to understand, when you say a friend, is the friend now taking the librarian's position at the circulation desk? Is that a possibility? These are
You
things
have
that I
to be
don't
tra- you
quite
have to be
understand.
trained how
Yeah.
to check in, check out.
Yeah, so that makes
all that.
a volunteer a little less usable. They can't run the program because it's not their program design. They really aren't trained to run the circulation desk. And the librarian's running a program, so I guess that's what my question is.
I think it would be more helpful to have, which is what we do, have friends run the program. You know, they can be volunteers, because really, librarians can't just jump in. I mean, there are so many rules about loaning books and privacy and all of the things that go with running a library that volunteers can't really.
Yeah, that wasn't true in 1890. That wasn't true in 1970 either.
Yeah. So it would be very helpful to have, if we did have more programs in this space, to have friends run them, and I could come and help, but the volunteers would be useful in helping to run the program.
I think those are
rather than
good, it
running
sounds
the
like those are
library.
all good ideas for, as we're waiting, I mean, it doesn't sound like that's a long-term solution, but, you know, listening to Laura, listening to everyone, but as a short term, there is space here, and if we can do a little bit, while we're working on that building committee.
That's absolutely correct. So, if you think I can be of help, I will let you know, and I will do whatever I can. But I think we can tackle this space problem, is the manpower, people problem, that we need to work
Yeah.
where it fits best.
Yep. And it's, you know, sort of a cart horse thing.
Yes, it is.
We've got to engage the community before we get up in front of that budget meeting and say we can help.
You're absolutely
So
right.
we got to like make the leap first with as much manpower as we do have, and then take it from there.
That's right. Thank you very much.
Thank you for coming.
Okay.
See you Wednesday?
Sure.
Alright. So, we're in our audience of citizens. Do you have anything to say, Bill?
Do you want to give you a chance to
Yeah. All right, so I think these unfinished business points will just like go through those. We've already discussed that the 2025-26 budget is on track. A lot of the things that might make it go over are things we have no control over, so we will just keep our fingers crossed. Strategic planning, you have your goals set. So wait to hear how that's, in the director's report, you generally keep us posted on how those goals are being met. New library facility, we have a liaison and a supportive first selectman. Keep working on that. Does anyone have anything about that this evening? Cuts to IMLS.
I have good news about that.
Oh.
I went on their site and they have a statement of agencies reinstatement of terminated IMLS.
Yeah, it was in the Wall Street Journal at the Times last week.
Reinstatement of, what was the
Of
phrase?
all the federal grants that the
And then
Institute for Museums and Libraries.
Judge ruled that cutting it the way they did it was not legal.
So there's hope.
There's hope.
Law and order does exist.
Yeah, that's good.
All right, calendar updates, you mentioned that in
And we
governance.
talked about my governance, I think we're all clear on calendars at this point.
All right, now that brings us to new business. We have a vacancy. Bill, would you like us to, would you like to share your thoughts about what we should do with this vacancy?
Well, I obviously have applied for it, and come back to the board, and previously served on the board, as both an appointed and an elected member. I've served on the board of finance and the board of education in town, and the new library study committee, and a number of other things. And, you know, I would appreciate your support in returning to it. I meet the criteria. I'm a Republican or an independent, and that's what it has to be. And it's for a 2-year term until 27, when there would be an election for the last 4 years. Well, I know that going in. You know, after being ignominiously defeated in the re-election to the Board of Finance, managing to come in fifth in a 5-person field. Go me! I take no
Don't ever
umbrage
do
at that.
anything
I
halfway,
take
Bill.
no umbrage at that. It's an election, no, and they told people. Some people win, some people lose, who cares? Life goes on, is my point. But I did enjoy my service, and hopefully working with some of you who enjoyed the process. So Mr. Gelston told me if you were to, if I were to be your choice, you let him know, and then next Wednesday, they will be voting on that position. And if you ask to vote for me, and they would, then the next day I'd go to Kathy and get this morning ready to go. I'm familiar with your work, but looking down here, things, I don't know. But I can find them in.
Okay, so now we discuss and see if anyone has questions for Bill. Anyone have any questions for Bill?
Well, I just know Bill pretty well, and he served well in the committee in the past. And
Kept us in his experience within the library study.
kept us in line,
So
so
essential.
our meeting, yeah, for sure.
Very important.
I don't have any questions.
I have no questions, so, we're to vote on whether to recommend.
Yeah, let's make a motion to recommend,
To the
well,
Board of
Bill Barney.
Selectmen. To the Board of Selectmen.
Yes.
To fill the vacancy.
To fill the vacancy.
Second?
Okay, any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Got from Mary. Thanks, Mary. Any opposed? No abstentions? All right.
Thank you.
You are officially recommended, Bill.
Thank you.
I'll email
I
them.
look forward to it.
You can know that Juliana is going to notify the Board of Selectmen.
Yeah.
All right. Bill, do you want to be an audience of citizens too, or are you
Well,
good?
you're on.
Yeah.
I know the Board of Finance is looking at bonding for the future. And that the library, a new library facility is in fact in their discussion. I know that as of Monday. So, you know, and my understanding is we've got the roads, we've started that pre-bond process. Firehouse is next, but for some reason that just bogged down. It just hasn't. They're supposed to present a bidding document, kind of thing is set up, but it hasn't happened. My understanding is the library is after that. So basically, once we get the firehouse zone, back to me. functioning bidding documents. Then a committee would be approved for a new library. So that's my understanding, is that's what we pursue.
Can you have a building committee formed before?
The select, excuse me, the selectmen can form a building committee anytime they want.
Okay, good.
Doesn't matter where it is in the sequence. I'm just telling you what the sequence is.
For voting,
And
yeah.
trying to figure out trying to figure out bond load.
Oh, bond.
You know, what's the bond load? Because I think 28 or 29,
I thought it was 29.
could be 29. There's going to be a drop-off on bonded indebtedness. And that's a night, you're always looking for the sweet spot.
Which was why 26 was the original one that they picked
Go ahead.
with Cindy 10 years ago.
Right.
It was one of the schools or something.
You've got the $30 million, for want of a better term, for the roads. 10, 10, 10, roughly in 5-year increments. And then, obviously, the firehouse. You all know. You don't know. If you'd like to go over there someday and you got nothing to do, just walk around the outside and push on a wall and watch it.
Not too hard.
I mean, you know, understand that when the wind gets up to, I forgot what the number is, they have to take all the equipment out of there and all the people, because it'll blow down. Oh, wonderful. But again, I've used this point, I will say it and I will say it loud. There are 3 libraries in the state of Connecticut that are not ADA compliant. And East Haddam proudly claims 2 of them. 3.
Yeah, the other one's in Chester.
And so, and I'm glad whoever mentioned the issue, as I found out last week, about access, that Todd heard that, about the people in walkers who can't get into the building, never mind wheelchair. You're absolutely dead on that. Walkers, you can't get in, wasted. And I know that the people on it, I've heard that, heard those complaints, so there's a good lobby out there when the time comes. We're going to be ready to jump to help. Anyhow, enough out of me.
Thanks, Bill. All right, any other questions or things to discuss under new business? All right, well, there's no objection. Adjourn. 7:23.
See, you remember, you don't need a motion to adjourn. Without objection.